Hello Booktube, my name is Emy. Welcome to my channel. This is the Newbie Tag. So this is like the fourth time that I filmed this video. I've been thinking about starting a YouTube channel for about 2 years now. I'm finally doing it and I hope you enjoy this. So the first question is, why did you start this channel? There are like two reasons I started this channel. The first one is I want to share my love of reading and my love of books with everyone who likes to read too. And the second reason is I want to remember how much I like each book that I read. I don't like writing reviews that much. I write like tiny reviews, so I've always wished to make a video about the book that I'm reading. So when time passes and I forget what was happening inside the book, I open up the video and say how much I was excited when I was reading this, when I was reading the book, and have like a tiny bit of experience of reliving the excitement and everything. So yeah, that's why. Question number 2, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? I don't know what I'm going to add to like the Booktube community. I think the book community is so amazing and I'm so excited to talk to people about reading and about their favorite books, and I want to make friends and be a part of this beautiful community. So I don't know, I want to share my love of fantasy and contemporary with everyone. Maybe and I hope I'll be a bit positive. Question number 3, what are you most excited for about this channel? Most excited to, as I said, make friends with people that read, because I don't have that many friends who read, and I have some friends who read, but they don't read like fantasy books with me. So I want to make some friends so we could talk about everything, to fangirl with each others, and I'm excited that this is a new experience and it's crazy and scary, but yeah, I'm up for a challenge. Question number 4, why do you love reading? I love reading because when I'm reading, I'm not in this world. So yeah, this might sound cliche, but it is true. When I'm reading, I'm forgetting all about everything around me, and in the story that I'm probably a different character. I'm not me in the book, and I like living through different lives with each and every character, and read and see the world through other characters. Question number 5, what book or series got you into reading? So this is an interesting kind of question. It is an interesting question because the first book that I ever read was The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. That book was one of the books that blew my mind away, because it was, as you know, if you read John Green's books, his writing is very different from other authors. He writes this like deep, he has this deep kind of writing, and that gets me so much because he made me like question life, and he made me question everything, and it was very interesting when I was like 12 to experience all these questions and way of writing. And the book was sad. It was really eye-opening and different from anything I've ever read, and it got me into, after reading The Fault in Our Stars, I was blown away by books. After that, I searched Instagram, Twitter, I got to know Booktube, and everything started just bubbling up, and I started to buy books, and got involved in this whole bookish community. Number 6, what questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? I want to ask, how do they keep up with being creative and uploading constantly? This will be the challenge, I think. So yeah, I want to know, how do they come up with creative ideas? Question number 7, what challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? I think the hardest would be going to college and uploading videos. I think that will be a pretty challenging thing. And since that question came up, I'm an applied arts student, and my major is interior design. Yeah, so I think that would be a bit of a challenge to, keep, college and YouTube together. Question number 8. When did you start reading? Yeah, so that's the story that I wanted to tell, which is I was one of those kids where I hated reading so much. I used to wonder, like, why do people like to read books? What is so interesting about words on paper? And I'm so ashamed of that right now. So yeah, that was something I used to ask a lot. But now, yeah, I think when I was 12, a bunch of my friends were reading The Fault in Our Stars, and I think I got intrigued so much by why are they fangirling about this book that, that it's not that interesting. I did not like reading because it was something that I had to do. So when they started reading something that's not a must to read, it was something fun. I got the book from them, and I started reading and I was blown away. So yeah, that was it. I was 12 back then. Yeah, question number 9. Where do you read? So I read in my room, I think in my bed, and I also like reading. I like reading while cooking, which is probably not reading, I know. I like to listen to audiobooks while I cook, so I sometimes open up an audiobook and start doing, lunch or whatever thing that I'm doing, and it's kind of, I kill 2 birds with 1 stone. By the end, I'm like halfway through a book, and then at the same time, I'm like, I finished actual food like lunch or something. So yeah. Question number 10, which is, what kind of books do you like to read? I like to read, as I mentioned, I like to read fantasy books. At the start, when I started reading, I first read contemporary YA, and maybe some romance YA, and afterwards I got into fantasy, and I was blown away by the fantasy world, and I haven't gotten out since. It's like, I always call it like, it's this hole of fantasy. You just go inside and you can't find your way out. So I'm trying to find my way out, but I'm kind of enjoying it. So yeah, I'm okay with it. So a question I want to add is, who are my favorite authors? And yeah, I want to say, yeah, so I have like 5, I think, favorite authors. Maybe I'm going to say like 5. Some of my favorite authors are, first, okay, with no complete order, okay, Sarah J. Maas. I love her books so much. She's one of my favorite authors of all time. I can't even describe how much I love her books. You'll see me talk about her a lot on this channel. I've read A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I fell in love with it. I read Crescent City like around a month ago, and Throne of Glass. I'm currently reading Throne of Glass with a bunch of friends on Instagram. We have this like tiny read along. So at the first time I started Throne of Glass, it was a year ago, and I stopped like reading in the 5th book because I didn't want to stop reading, but I didn't want to keep reading while I was at college and things were pretty messy, and I wanted to just devour the book slowly and with an open mind. So yeah, I'm currently rereading the first 4 books. Second author is Cassandra Clare. My first series by her is The Infernal Devices. It's one of my absolute favorite books that I read, and I want to read Chain of Gold so bad. Hopefully I'll read it soon. A third author is, I love Tahar Mafi. She's the author of Shatimi series, and this series was one of the first books that introduced me to fantasy, and it's still my favorite. It's still one of my favorite series of all time. I still haven't read Imagine Me, and hopefully I'll read it soon. Fourth author is, yes, as I said, John Green is one of my absolute favorite authors, and I've read most of his books. My favorite book of him is Looking for Alaska, and I can say, yeah, Colleen Hoover. I love reading Colleen Hoover. I love her romance. She's one of those authors that I enjoy reading. I finish her books in no time. And I think, may I say a 6th one? Yeah, also Sabaa Tahir. She's the author of An Amber in the Ashes, one of my absolute favorite books. So yeah, that's many favorites. Yeah, so I love An Ember in the Ashes. I still haven't read Reaper because I did not want to read it and torture myself and wait a whole year before the 4th book is out. So yeah, Sky Beyond the Storm is out in December. Woohoo! Okay, and Penguin Random House are making a read-along and they're reading An Ember in the Ashes. So I think I'll probably reread Torch, the 2nd book. I will reread it and then read Reaper before the 4th book comes out. So yeah, if anyone's interested in that read-along, if you're reading the books, tell me, we can read them together. So yeah, I think that's all the questions, and I added one question myself. So this is pretty challenging for me. I'm so excited to get to know all of you. I hope this will be fun. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, give it a like, subscribe to my channel to see more of my face, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.